So I'm taking some independent study now, and I'm at the piano, and I'm going to learn my part, starting with playing the parts on the piano, right hand with right hand, and left hand on left hand. And I shall be doing them slowly. And I'll continue doing that for the rest of the piece. For improvising over a chord, I have been asking my teachers questions and researching what chords best to use over something like Girlfriend for Nina, which is my solo piece on the vibraphone. I can start with an F7 chord using triads running up the F major, adding the 7, 9, 13, 11 and things like that. And then for the second chord, I can use a major triad running up through the same 9, 11, whatever else. Most importantly, falling onto the C sharp, which is not in the F major chord. I then use a G minor 7 with a nice little lick where I go up to the 9, flat the 9, and come back down again, making sure that's in there because that's the extra part of that chord. And finally I can finish with the C altered scale, which is another form of the D flat scale, or as I was giving its correct name, it would be the C super Phrygian scale. That has all the flats essentially, with F and basing around C, and that lets me come quite nicely back to C, which is the home of the tune and is the home of the key that we're about to come into, which lets me do an F major triad straight on that C. I restart that, then we go into the B section, which I have been researching licks and chords, and I've been listening to jazz vibraphone players play not only this piece, but play multiple pieces as well. So I've gone and listened to some vibraphones and some jazz, and my favourite thing that I picked up from it was somebody doing octaves with their pre-established motif. At the end of their improvisation, they did that in octaves using the pedal, which I thought was a really nice way of rounding off an improvisation, and I'll try and establish that, establish a motif at the beginning, and then at some point round off that motif by doing it in octaves and adding a chord at the end. Another thing that I really liked was running up and down the length of the vibraphone with a single chord, just going up with a G minor 7 with all the triads included, and back down again, and then continuing on as if nothing had happened, and just running up and down. And that was a really sweet way of working. I'll try and improvise something like that in my B section that has several times where the chords are a bit different to melody, and just using the chord as an improvisation tool rather than trying to improvise a melody over the top would be quite fun. So one of my things to do is transcription, and I was given a trombone part by a friend of mine to transcribe. It was off of a social media post. I said I'd do that over half term. I forgot to, so I did it on the bus Monday morning. I had about 40 minutes to do it. The original file looked and sounded a bit like this. and then it faded out. So I took that, listened to it a lot, and went on to my chosen scoring program, which was MuseScore. This is what it looked and sounded like. I'll put this up on screen as well. Sorry. This is what it looked and sounded like. And that's the gliss at the end, a small slide that would be played better than it's played here. So that's some transcription work I've done. I've also done some other transcription. One of the pieces is for Higher and Higher, which is one of the pieces we're playing. This is the synth and violin part that I had to transcribe. Pretty simple, was quite clear in the mix, but I thought I'd point that out. And then I used the horn part provided to adapt it to a string, violin only this is, with pizzicato synth. And then it goes into the chorus again, here. With some nice long runs up as well on the synth part. So I'm at home and I have looked up some random chord progressions. This one is G7, F major 7, F major 7 and G, which I'm going to voice starting on a root G, assuming that my chord key is G major. So it'll be... and then to the F major 7. And then I'm going to try and interest this F major 7. And then going back to a root G position. So that's moving thumb on the 7th, moving everything onto a standard on my right hand, then swapping to everything on standard on my left hand, and then going back to a root position. Let's try another one. Okay, so I've got a new set, and that is A flat major 7, B flat, A flat major 7 again, and G minor 7. So I'll be working again from root position on the A flat major 7. And then I'm going to, I believe it's called the second inversion, with the B flat and the bass, same thing again. And then I'm going to the G flat 7, G minor 7, with my thumb on the 7th. So I have addressed the issue of learning the technology of certain pianos, because I could be throwing it on any piano on the night, and instead I'll be bringing with me a load of cables and my MacBook, which will be equipped with MainStage. I've made myself a MainStage file with the electric piano I need for Put Your Records On, strings that I may need for Natural Woman, and an emergency piano just in case, and that should be a good sounding piano. I don't think there's anything else I need to play piano for, but if there is, I'll make sure that that's done before the gig. The idea is that the piano is a backup. So the electric piano sounds a little bit like this. And I was hoping for this to be just a generic electric piano sound, but with the ability to go quite harsh, lower down, and maybe even softer, higher up if you play it softer. I don't have velocity sensing on this at the moment, but I will do when I actually get to a piano. I'm not playing it on a piano right now. But that's fine, it's velocity set up anyway. I have some strings for Natural Woman which I've had to layer in a specific way so that if I play down here, I just get a short stop string sound, which means I can do my but if I play up here, I can get a softer sound for the legato, which is quite useful. And I've also got that softer sound down the octaves. For that rather nice effect of getting a drone in there when the player wants to do that. And then I have the piano, not too much reverb on it, not too many effects, it's just a straight piano sound. That's everything.